Our real journey has finally begun. In this lecture, we're going to talk about preliminary research, which is the first step to designing our robots. We'll talk about three things. First, the type of strategies that are available out there for us, and how do we vet the idea. And we will end off with the third one, which is the mentality that we should have towards designing our robots, which is keep it simple. For the purpose of this course, I'm going to divide the types of algo strategies into three different types. The first one is directional strategies, which means that we're going to long an asset or short an asset, hoping that it will move in the favorable direction. The second type are market neutral strategies. In market neutral strategies, we are long one asset and we are short a correlated asset. What we're trying to achieve is we are trying to be neutral towards any directional moves in the market. So for example, for pair trading, let's say that I feel that Google and Apple, they are very similar and correlated. I may long Google and short Apple. And the assumption behind this trade is that I feel that Google's and Apple's share price should converge. And since both of these stocks, they contain the market risk, which is the movement that occurs when the entire market moves. So when the entire market moves, Apple and Google will both move along with it. By longing one and shorting one, I essentially cancel out that market movement. Hence, the value that I'm looking for is a convergence between these two stocks. The third kind of strategy is, I'm just going to call it strategies involving structured instruments. These are options, swaps, any kind of structured asset, collateralized debt, obligation, and so on and so forth. A lot of these instruments, they're just simply not available to the retail trader. So we're not going to go into these instruments. We have seen this list before in one of the earlier videos. So these are the areas where we can get ideas about market inefficiency. So for example, our market inefficiency could be because of macroeconomic news or technical reasons, or a combination of any of these factors. So we're starting out right now, and there's a whole world of inefficiencies. There are so many ideas going on. There's so many possible trades that we can do. Where do we start? Well, here are some areas that are a good starting point for us. We can look at forums, where people are discussing ideas all the time. The rumor mills and blogs, where people are talking about market forecasts, what the future is going to be like, what kind of trades are the big boys doing, are we able to emulate the trades that the big boys are doing, so on and so forth. The third area is news and market analysis sites. So I'm talking about news sites such as CNBC.com, such as economist.com. So in these places, there are people constantly feeding you two things. One, which is factual news. These are information that you should use to objectively think about strategies or market inefficiencies. Second kind of information is recommendations by the analyst. So the analyst will be looking at many different information, and they themselves will come up with what they feel is a recommendation for a trade idea or for risk management purposes. The fourth on the list is academic research. Algo trading is a very math-based kind of trading. Initially, the first few algo trading ideas came from Edward Thorp, who is he's academic. He's the one that first wrote the book about gaming the blackjack game in casinos, called Beat the Dealer. After which, He wrote a book called Beat the Market, which is one of the first few books about using arbitrage to gain from the market. By arbitrage, I mean there's an obvious mathematical inefficiency in the risk to return of a certain asset or a certain strategy, and it is, by theory, supposed to be risk-free. From that, many other academics have been looking into whether they can find returns, find inefficiencies, find alpha from the market. Many of these theories revolve around statistical arbitrage, mean reversion trades, co-integration, trades during certain time of the day, time of the week, trades during earnings release season of companies, things like that. It's a good place to look at if you want trade ideas that are very evidence-based. But however, do note that even if the trading ideas do work, because these academics publish their ideas in papers, the market will have caught on to the idea. So if it worked when the academic was doing the paper, after he published a paper, it is very, very unlikely that it will work again. We shouldn't take information from academic research wholesale, but use it as inspiration for us to gain new ideas and new insights. The fifth point on this list is to talk to people in the industry. This by far is the most valuable asset you can have. I know that, let's say I'm going to a networking session. If I'm not a trader, I have nothing to show for, I have no value to someone who has years and years of experience in the field. It is very unlikely that the someone is going to share with me information that could be useful to my trading. Fair enough. If you have a warm contact who knows someone in a buy-side firm or even banks or sell-side firms, use that. Request for opportunity to speak to the person, express interest to learn, and it is best if you have a skill set that you can sort of exchange for information. I'll give you an example. I have a friend who is good at math and programming, and through some contacts he knows of a trader he's a discretionary trader, manual trader, but he wants someone to do some back testing to look at ideas for him and judge the ideas in a mathematical way. Well, I guess there is great synergy there, because on one hand, the trader gets evidence that his idea does or does not work. On the other hand, the backtester, the guy who is good at math, gets to learn the trading ideas, get to know how a professional trader looks at the market. And that's how you learn. That's how the way you look at the market evolves. And slowly, you will be able to see opportunities that you couldn't see before. After this lecture, I have included a PDF of a couple of websites and useful links for each of this category.